Good morning, students. Welcome to our English class. How are you all? I am hoping that every student is fit, fine, and healthy. Okay? So in the previous class, I had given you introduction of our subject English. We have discussed the syllabus and we have performed the warm-up activity. Okay? I had given you the homework of this warm-up activity. I am hoping that every student has completed their homework. Okay. So now, today what we will do? We will read the chapter number 1, the parrot who wouldn't talk. So let me revise the characters of this chapter. The characters of this chapter are a parrot, Aunt Ruby, grandfather, and the child. Okay. So now, first of all, who is the author of the chapter, The Parrot Who Wouldn't Talk? The author of this chapter is Ruskin Bond, 1934. The author is Ruskin Bond. He was born in 1934. Ruskin Bond is the India's best loved storyteller. He has spent most of his life in Dehradun and loves writing about the forests, hill stations, and people in this region. Many of his stories are autobiographical. His most of the popular works are The Room on the Roof and Our Trees Still Grow in There. He now lives in Lando, Missouri. ओके सो हमारे इस चैप्टर का ऑथर है रस्किन बॉन्ड. ही इज़ द बेस्ट स्टोरी टेलर एंड द बेस्ट राइटर ऑफ आवर कंट्री. He is 87 years old now. He is still living in the Missouri. Okay. He has spent most of his life in Dehradun. The author Ruskin Bond loves to write about forest, hill stations, and people of this region. Many of his stories are autobiographical. What does the word autobiographical means? The story based on his real life experiences. Autobiographical का मतलब क्या होता है कि अपने खुद की रियल लाइफ एक्सपीरियंस पे कोई स्टोरी जो लिखते हैं उसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? ऑटोबायोग्राफिकल. ओके. हिज मोस्ट पॉपुलर वर्क्स आर द रूम ऑन द रूफ एंड आवर ट्रीज स्टिल ग्रो इन देरा. These two are the most popular works of Ruskin Bond. He now lives in Lando, Missouri. Okay. If you ever go to Missouri, Ruskin Bond comes over there every Saturday at a bookshop. Okay. If you ever go to Missouri, if you get a chance, then please meet the author Ruskin Bond. In Missouri at that bookshop, he comes at every Saturday. If you have any book, then you can tell him or request him to sign your book. Okay. He will surely sign your book. Every Saturday at a bookshop in Missouri, he comes over there for his fans. Okay, students. If you ever go to Missouri and get a chance, you should meet him. Okay. So now we will move to our chapter. I will read the chapter. Everyone have to listen it carefully. Okay. By doing this, we will develop our reading skills. Okay. The parrot who wouldn't talk. When I was growing up in Missouri, almost all our neighbors kept a pet parrot or parakeet. Sometimes these birds would learn to talk. They would say things like, "Study, child, study," or "Don't be greedy, don't be greedy." These words and phrases were, of course, learned after some member of the household had repeated them many times in front of the bird. But our parrot refused to talk. He had been bought by Aunt Ruby from a bird catcher who visited all the houses on the road. Grandmother and grandfather did not want a caged bird as a pet, but Aunt Ruby insisted. Now everyone turn over the page number 2. So she bought the parrot and tried to teach him to talk. But the parrot did not like her at all. "Kiss, kiss," Aunt Ruby would say, putting her face close to the bars of the cage. But the parrot would move backward. His beady eyes get smaller with anger. One day he lunged forward and pushed my aunt's spectacles off her nose. After that, Aunt Ruby did not like the parrot anymore. She started making faces at him and calling out, "You are useless, can't talk, can't sing, can't dance." Grandmother then put me in the charge of feeding the parrot. He was quite happy to take green chilies, pieces of papaya, and ripe tomatoes from my hands. I also gave him slices of mango. This gave me a chance to eat few mangoes while feeding the parrot. One afternoon, while everyone was in the dining room, I gave the parrot his lunch. By mistake, I left the cage door open. Seconds later, the parrot flew away to sit on the mango tree. At the same time, grandfather came to veranda and said, "I see your aunt's parrot has escaped. I am very sorry. I left the door open by mistake," I said. Aunt Ruby was upset. She wanted to buy another parrot. We promised her to buy a bowl of goldfish instead. I thought that we would never see the parrot again, but maybe he missed the green chilies. A few days later, I found the bird sitting on the veranda railing and looking at me. Unselfishly, I gave him my half of my mangoes. Just then, Aunt Ruby came outside and cried out, "Look, it's my parrot." "You must have missed me." Okay, so now everyone take out page number 3. Quickly the parrot flew to the nearest rose bush. He looked angrily at my aunt and shrieked, "You are useless, can't talk, can't sing, can't dance." Aunt Ruby turned ruby red and ran inside. This parrot became a regular visitor to our garden. Whenever he saw Aunt Ruby, he would call out, "You are useless, can't talk, can't sing, can't dance." The parrot had learned to talk after all. Ruskin born. Okay, so this is our first chapter, The Parrot Who Wouldn't Talk. I have read the chapter for now because reading skills are also as much as important with listening skills and writing skills. So first we have read the chapter The Parrot Who Wouldn't Talk. Okay, so now we will discuss the meanings of our first chapter, The Parrot Who Wouldn't Talk. We have completed the reading of the chapter, so now we will discuss the meanings of our chapter. Okay, I have written all the meanings of this chapter. We will discuss it right now. Okay, so our first meaning is parakeet. What does the word parakeet means? It means a small bird of the parrot family, usually with a long tail. Parakeet means पैरॉट फैमिली का ही एक छोटा सा बर्ड विथ ए लॉन्ग टेल. पैराकिट्स की टेल लंबी होगी एंड पैरॉट्स की टेल छोटी होगी. ओके, इट इज़ वेरी सिमिलर टू द पैरॉट. सो पैराकिट आर द स्मॉल बर्ड ऑफ पैरॉट फैमिली, usually with a long tail, and parrots have short tail compared to parakeets. Okay beta. So now we'll move to our second meaning, that is insisted. Insisted means said firmly that she only wanted to buy that parrot. Insisted means in our chapter Aunt Ruby said that she only wanted to buy that parrot. She did not want to buy the bowl of goldfish. Insisted means to say firmly, I only wanted to buy this thing. I don't want anything else instead of that. Okay beta. So now number 3 is BD. BD means small, round and bright eyes. Okay, BD means small, round and bright eyes. Our parrot have small, round and bright eyes. In this chapter it is said that the parrot has the beady eyes. So what does beady eyes means? छोटी, गोल और चमकती हुई आँखें. ओके, so our parrot have beady eyes, small, round and bright eyes. Okay beta. So now number 4th is lunged. Lunged means move forward suddenly. Lunged means move forward suddenly. In our chapter, the parrot lunged forward and took off the spectacles of Aunt Ruby. पैरॉट ने क्या किया? एकदम से मूव फॉरवर्ड सडनली का मतलब अचानक से आगे आना. ओके, अचानक से आगे आना. तो पैरॉट ने क्या किया? अचानक से आगे आ गया केज में से और आंट रूबी के स्पेक्टेकल्स, आंट रूबी के जो चश्मे थे वो खींच लिए. ओके, so in our chapter it is said that the parrot lunged forward and took off the spectacles of Aunt Ruby. Lunged का मतलब होता है अचानक से आगे आना, means move forward suddenly. Okay, so now we will move to the 5th one, that is making faces at him. Means she was moving her mouth, nose and eyes in the strange ways to show that she did not like the parrot. Okay, so here it is said that Aunt Ruby, in our chapter there is a one line in it, it is said that Aunt Ruby was making faces at him. Okay, making faces at him का मतलब क्या होता है? मुंह बनाना. Okay, Aunt Ruby was making faces at the parrot. Aunt Ruby parrot के सामने मुंह बनाती थी. It means that she was moving her mouth, nose and eyes in such a strange way to show that she did not like the parrot. Aunt Ruby ने अपना mouth, nose और eyes ऐसे in the strange way show किया कि हमें लगे she did not like the parrot. Okay, so Aunt Ruby was making faces at our parrot. Okay beta. So now we will move to the 6th one, that is railing. It means fence made of metal or wooden bars. Okay. Railing means the fence. Fence means the boundary. Okay. Our home has the boundary, our house has the boundary, our farms has the boundary, our plots have the boundary. So we make fence around our home or farms or our plots. Okay, so fence is made up of what? Fence is made up of metal or wooden walls, bars. Okay, किसकी बनती है फेंसिंग? फेंसिंग हम कौन सी चीज़ों की करते हैं? या तो लोहे की या लकड़ी के bars की. Okay, bars means a big part of wood. Okay, so railing means fencing which is done around our property. Okay, so seventh one is unselfishly. It means in a way long that shows that he cares about others and not just himself. Okay, सेल्फिश का मतलब क्या होता है कि जो इंसान सिर्फ खुद के बारे में सोचता है उसे हम क्या बोलेंगे? सेल्फिश. एंड अनसेल्फिश मीन्स वो इंसान जो खुद के भी बारे में बिना सोचे सबसे पहले दूसरों के बारे में सोचता है. सो सिमिलरली फॉर द अनसेल्फिशली in a way that shows that he cares about others. उस तरीके से मतलब वो दिखाता है कि वो दूसरों की भी परवाह करता है. नॉट जस्ट हिमसेल्फ, सिर्फ अपनी ही नहीं वो दूसरों की भी परवाह करता है. सो अनसेल्फिशली मीन्स टू केयर अबाउट अदर्स एंड नॉट जस्ट अवर सेल्फ. ओके बेटा. नाउ the eighth one is shrieked. So what does it mean? It means spoke in a loud high voice. Shrieked means spoke in a loud high voice. ऊंची आवाज में बात करना. It is very simple. Okay. So ninth one is turned ruby red. Ninth one is turned ruby red. Aunt Ruby's face turned ruby red because she was feeling ashamed. Aunt Ruby का फेस लाल हो गया. Why? Because she was feeling ashamed means शर्मा जाना. आंट रूबी को अपने किए पर पछतावा हुआ और उन्हें शर्म आई. ओके, सो इट मीन्स आंट रूबीज फेस टर्न्ड रूबी रेड बिकॉज शी वॉज फीलिंग अशेम्ड. ओके, सो नाउ 10th one. See beta, 10th one in your textbook it is given very complex that you could not understand that. So I have turned out a simple meaning of after all. आफ्टर ऑल का मीनिंग आपकी टेक्स्ट बुक में थोड़ा सा कॉम्प्लेक्स है. ठीक है बेटा, इसलिए मैंने आप लोगों को ठीक से समझ में आए इसलिए इजी लैंग्वेज में वो मीनिंग लिखा है. इट इज़ डिफरेंट इन योर टेक्स्ट बुक बट द मीनिंग्स ऑफ बोथ आर सेम. आपकी टेक्स्ट बुक में आफ्टर ऑल का मीनिंग थोड़ा सा कॉम्प्लेक्स है. ओके, आपके लिए आपके समझने के लिए इट इज़ लिटिल डिफ़िकल्ट. So I have turned the simple meaning of it. Okay. So after all means the word after all is used for something that we might have thought about and later the things happens different. Okay. After all word का हम यूज़ हम कहाँ पे करेंगे? कोई भी चीज़ अगर हमने सोची हो. ओके, लिसन इट केयरफुली बेटा, इट इज़ लिटिल कॉम्प्लेक्स. कोई भी चीज़ हमने सोची हो और उसके बाद जो हमने सोचा है उससे अलग ही चीज़ हो. सो इन दैट केस वी विल यूज़ द वर्ड आफ्टर ऑल. ओके, आई एम रिपीटिंग इट अगेन. द वर्ड आफ्टर ऑल इज़ यूज्ड to describe about something that we might have thought. जो हमने पहले से सोचा हो और लेटर उसके बाद द थिंग हैपन्स डिफरेंट, जो हमने सोच के रखा हो उससे अलग ही चीज़ हुई हो. ओके, सो फॉर इन दैट केस वी विल यूज द वर्ड आफ्टर ऑल. आई विल गिव यू एग्जाम्पल ऑफ इट so you could understand better. The climate is not good. It might rain. ओके, क्लाइमेट अच्छा नहीं है, सो बारिश हो सकती है. सो वी विल स्टॉप द क्रिकेट मैच. इसीलिए हम क्रिकेट मैच बंद कर रहे हैं. वाई? बिकॉज क्लाइमेट इज़ नॉट गुड, इट माइट रेन, सो वी आर स्टॉपिंग अवर क्रिकेट मैच. यहाँ तक का समझ में आ गया आपको? हमने सोचा है कि क्लाइमेटिक कंडीशंस प्रॉपर नहीं है, सो इसीलिए हम अपना क्रिकेट मैच अभी बंद कर रहे हैं. ओके, वी हैव थिंक ऑफ दैट. एंड लेटर ऑन, थोड़ी देर बाद रेन नहीं हुई. ओके, थोड़ी देर बाद रेन नहीं हुई. सो इन दैट केस द सेंटेंस विल बी फॉर्म्ड एज we had stopped the cricket match, but after all it did not rain, so the match was started. Okay beta, understood? I am reading the meaning again. After all, the word after all is used for something that we might have thought about. जो हमने पहले से सोचा हो, and later the things happens different. जो हमने सोचा है उससे कुछ अलग चीज़ होती है. So in that case we will use the word after all. Okay, I also given you the example. I hope you understand it. So now what will be your homework for today? Today you will read the chapter aloud at your home, and along with it you have to write meanings in your notebook. ओके, आप क्या करोगे? सबसे पहले आपका बुक में आपका नाम लिखोगे, स्टैंडर्ड लिखोगे और डिवीज़न लिखोगे. ओके, उसके बाद फर्स्ट पेज पे आप हेडिंग डालोगे चैप्टर नंबर 1, द पैरट हू वुडंट टॉक. उसके बाद आप यहाँ पे डेट डालोगे. ओके, देन यू हैव टू राइट the meanings. You have to write the first, you have to write the heading, give a star over here and start from number 1. You have to write all the 10 meanings in your English notebook. ओके बेटा, और इसके साथ दूसरा होमवर्क क्या है बेटा आपका? You have to read the story The Parrot Who Wouldn't Talk aloud at your home. Okay, I hope you understood all the things into our today's period. Thank you everyone. So now we will end our today's class. Okay, I am hoping that everyone is safe and healthy at your home. Thank you everyone.